Hello there. My name is Ryan Gilbert. I'm with Goodwin University. Today I'll be talking about the discrepancies between federal and state laws regarding marijuana. This is for Professor Fitel's class, and it's a corrections class. And without further ado, let's get it going. Um, I decided to write my paper on federal and state laws regarding marijuana because there is a lot of gray areas to where, you know, we many people don't know about. And there's a lot going on in today's world, in today's society, that would indicate to a lot of growth when it comes to marijuana and more specifically marijuana arrest. Um, Usually, federal and state laws will work in unison, and that's the case for many laws. Many people will lose in state court and then decide to go to federal because they have a better chance of winning in federal, but they're going to get shot down um, because that federal and state laws they definitely tend to work in unison on purpose, so people can't find that gap. It's not going to not work all the time. There will be cases in state law that go to federal where the person wins. But it all depends on the specifics of the case in and of itself. But when regarding marijuana, there is a lot of gaps because the state and federal laws are completely different. Um, there have been many states who have decided to lessen their, restrictions regarding marijuana, and they have seen a lot of progress. Um, there was two states, Washington and Oregon, who decriminalized marijuana completely. And where they were stagnant on, crime in and of itself, they made tremendous progress in marijuana arrests, marijuana, you know, jail, whatever, people who are going to jail for marijuana, they made tremendous success in that. When federal sees the progress that is going on in state, that gives them a little bit of a jolt, like, okay, something's going on here, we are noticing a difference. It's not good to be doing what we're doing necessarily. Some may say that, but as for me, my own opinion, federal is way too strict. But things are getting better, and it's only going up from here in terms of marijuana. 60% of America believes that it should be legalized, and that's actually a staggering number considering the people we have in this country. Whether you're 60 and above, or 20 to 40, or even younger, there's a lot of different opinions out there. And the fact that 60 is a good sign, because quite frankly, there are a lot more things to be worrying about than people who happen to be using marijuana. It's been found to be a drug that's not nearly as severe as many other drugs that are out there, and people do have the case for it being a gateway drug, which I understand. But there are a lot of people who are using marijuana that you wouldn't expect to be using it, who use it every day, and it does help. It's a coping mechanism. It helps with a lot of depression, anxiety, you name it. It can help with a lot of things, and there's a reason why it's being used medically. So to have it be used medically and to not have it be recreational, it's not one or the other. You have to either completely go on one side or completely go on the other. They have to figure this one out. A big issue in terms of this whole thing, huge issue, is physicians. Now in Connecticut, physicians can prescribe marijuana for their patient, but in other states, many other states, they cannot. So whereas in Connecticut, they see a problem, medication's not working, this isn't working, you know what, let's go to marijuana, medical marijuana, let's see how you react to this. That's an option for physicians in the state of Connecticut. In other states, not so much. They can't prescribe it. They can recommend. They can say, this is, do this, try that maybe. And to be honest, I did a lot of searching up on that. I don't even know if they can actually recommend it. I know it says recommending is an option, but depending on the strictness of the state, it could be a lot, less in terms of the whole recommending process. It could just be like hinting at it. You never know with some certain states. But yeah, no, in Connecticut you can recommend it. So that is still a huge issue regarding marijuana, and that's one of the biggest ones there is. I personally believe that, like I stated before, there are a lot of things in this country going on that are a lot less. Or I'm sorry, there are a lot of things in this country going on that are worse than marijuana, and marijuana not to completely just get rid of it in terms of it's never going to do anything bad. There are things that can happen, but for the majority of cases, I believe that it is not right to be having people arrested at having such a significant time in jail because of such little issues, especially when it's regarding marijuana. Now, if you have a guy who is selling, or if you have a guy who has pounds on top of pounds of marijuana, and it's still right now with the current date illegal in certain states, and most states, all states actually, you can't be distributing that many. So that, yes, in terms of that, 100%, those guys should be going to jail, because until it becomes legal, you shouldn't be having pounds on top of pounds of weed, because it's just not a good look. And state and federal laws, they have nothing. They can't do anything about that. They have to arrest you. But when regarding, there are so many other situations, like whether it's honestly, teenagers. There's teenagers, adults, anybody could be using it every day. You may have used it, and it's just something that you have to look at, and you have to say, like, you know what? A lot more people die from DUIs than they do from smoking weed, or smoking marijuana, or smoking pot. Whatever you call it, there's definitely nicer things you could say. People have their tendencies to call it pot or weed, but whatever you want to call it, a lot less things have happened. A lot worse things have happened with doing other drugs and other, things like drinking, whatever it may be. Okay, and that's pretty much the end of my research paper. I got a lot done in terms of this research paper, and I really did enjoy it. It was a really fun topic to write about. And I hope one day that, whether it's completely banning it or completely legalizing it, I think legalizing, I would lean towards that because of just the progress we've seen in terms of people getting arrested and state laws. But if the option is to ban it, then I don't know. I think legalizing it is the move. And so hopefully we will see in the years to come. We are going in the right direction for that. And a lot of presidential candidates, that is their go-to, legalizing marijuana, because they know that would get a lot of young supporters. So we will see in the years to come. But for right now, we still have a huge discrepancy between the laws regarding federal and state regarding marijuana. Thank you very much. Goodbye.